$3 billion fund for Bitcoin with some of the biggest names in the entire industry. What does that mean? And how can we make money with altcoins relative to the big announcement? We're going to talk about that. Speaking of altcoins, lots of altcoin news. The Trump token has pumped. Why? We're going to share that information. A big partnership for IMX, that is pumping. What does that mean? We'll have that conversation. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about Bitcoin's inflows and what did Bitcoin just pass on market cap, becoming the 5th largest asset in the entire world. And what can we expect next from the rally we've seen from BTC as 100K by the end of the week in play? We're going to talk about that and much, much more on today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go.
Hola! It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto, home of the entertainment focused content, where we take old, boring, stale information, repackage it up in a fun and Elvis kind of way. We are coming live from Las Vegas, home of the next upcoming Bitcoin conference, the largest crypto conference in the world. And you know what? It's around the corner, man. It's around the corner. We're very excited. If you haven't picked up your tickets, link in the description, Ola code.
If you're wondering also where we are relative to this.
And where are we?
So that's below.
Oh, we're over here. We're over this way.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Right behind there.
So over here by Rob's back right shoulder.
Yeah. Back right shoulder. Or
Two blocks off the strip. We're not far away.
Back left shoulder.
If you're in Vegas, let us know. If you're not a weirdo, we'll let you come by the studio and check it out.
Robin, what are some bullet points of how we identify a weirdo?
If you...
most of all, how the weirdo knows he's not a weirdo.
That is a good point as well. How does a weirdo know?
I'm sorry. If you are extreme weirdo, you know you're a weirdo.
How did you know?
That's not true necessarily.
Yes. True.
You know.
We'll get a bullet point list out sometime this week, hopefully.
Description on the comment.
We've been so busy at the studio, but we continue to bring you all the news you need to make money in crypto. Well, here's the biggest piece of the news of the day. Well, yesterday and today. Cantor Fitzgerald, which I may add, who's the founder of Cantor Fitzgerald, Robin? Howard Lutnick. What does Howard Lutnick do, Robin? Secretary of Commerce. You're very welcome. They're launching a $3 billion Bitcoin investment vehicle with Tether and SoftBank. They're reportedly preparing to launch a multi-billion-dollar Bitcoin investment vehicle in partnership with SoftBank, Tether, and Bitfinex. The deal would see the creation of a new entity called 21 Capital, backed by $3 billion worth of Bitcoin contributed by the crypto firms. And I'm seeing rumors that the CEO, is going to be Jack Mallers.
It's not rumors. He was on...
It's true? Okay.
He was on Bloomberg, and on the bottom of Bloomberg, it said CEO.
Okay, there you go. It's been confirmed. He will be the CEO of 21 Entity. Anyways,
he's still going to be CEO of Strike, by the way.
Yeah.
So he's going to be CEO of two different companies.
He's pulling an Elon. Tether would contribute 1.5 billion of Bitcoin, which we know Tether already has a Bitcoin reserve. So I'm assuming they're just going to take 1.5 billion of their reserve and just add it there. SoftBank.
They could also just print it. They do that very often.
There's no USDT. There's no USDT on Bitcoin. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
They print.
Yeah, the Tether is like the Fed of crypto. SoftBank would add 900 million, and Bitfinex would provide 600 million, bringing the total to 3 billion. The structure is designed to mirror the strategy used by MicroStrategy. So everyone saw this and they're like, okay, well, Tether already has Bitcoin. Okay, Bitfinex already has Bitcoin. What people don't talk about is SoftBank does not have Bitcoin. And this was posted by Matt Hogan, the CIO of Bitwise. SoftBank is buying 900 million of Bitcoin, and basically no one is talking about it. Well, Matt Hogan, we are talking about it right now. Rob, what are your thoughts on this? Obviously, this is bullish for Bitcoin. Right? Let's skip the obvious points here. It's bullish for Bitcoin. We're assuming it's going to be OTC buys, but at the end of the day, we clear that OTC out. They're going to have to dip into the market, so we know that. But these three coming together, and I think more specifically, Rob, Kenner Fitzgerald, ties to Howard Lutnick, which obviously has ties to the White House. What are your thoughts on this? And then we'll get into how this affects certain altcoins and how we can make money there. Go ahead.
So it's an interesting shift. You know, you got Jack Mallers, who's leading this charge. He is so he has an exchange, right? Or an exchange type service where you can basically buy, and they'll
Talking about Strike?
Yeah, they'll buy Bitcoin for you. You can go in there and buy Bitcoin. There's some transaction on off ramps there where you can spend your Bitcoin at different retail locations. Now, what we're seeing here is they're starting a company, and you can buy shares of the company, which in turn gives you exposure to Bitcoin.
Kind of like MicroStrategy.
Yeah, but here's the thing: MicroStrategy is taking the money they have and just buying Bitcoin, and so this one tends to be more of similar to an ETF, where they're just taking in money and just straight buying Bitcoin with it. I guess it's kind of in between what you would see out of ETF and what you're seeing out of MicroStrategy, but very interesting, man.
MicroStrategy has
Jack Mallers is just so the thing with him is he's so progressive on just simply buy Bitcoin. Why mess with any other vehicles, right? Why take on any risk? Because at some point you're taking on risk buying stock of a company that's holding Bitcoin versus buying Bitcoin yourself. And so it's almost as though it's a business move versus what he preaches. I'm not saying it's a scam or anything like that. I'm just very interesting, right? My man Jack Mallers is always talking about like, hey, the best thing to do and the smartest thing to do is just simply buy Bitcoin, hold it. Now he's leading a company that...
Can I argue that's kind of what they're doing, though?
No, he's launching a company
that's buying.
It's like the meme coin of a Bitcoin maxi. So it's like the meme coin of a Bitcoin maxi, right? We're like, well, you know what? You can get the Bitcoin here, or you can buy my stock, and then my stock with this company that represents the stock, I'll go buy Bitcoin for you. It's almost. It's very gimmicky.
Okay.
Basically, it's
so then why don't we give the same? Why don't we throw the same shade at MicroStrategy? They're doing the same thing, right?
I didn't say they weren't. I was just saying that it's very interesting how you have one business, but at least MicroStrategy was in the investment, right? They're in the investment of technology. Jack Mallers and Strike, he was in the hey, let me
infrastructure.
Let me make it easier for you to buy and hold Bitcoin. Now he's like, well, screw that business model. Why don't you just give me your money and my company will go out and buy Bitcoin and hold it on our company balance sheet? It's just, I'm not saying anything wrong with it. I'm just, the man's enriching himself. Am I not?
But it wasn't his company. He was appointed CEO.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was his idea.
I think he's a CEO. It has to be at some point his kind of.
He had a say, but
he's the CEO. He's not. He has a say. He's literally the one in charge. The definition of who has the final say is him. It's not he has a say. He is the say. He's the one. Like you're the CEO. Like you're the one that makes the decisions. The buck stops with you. There's nothing wrong with it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
What are you trying to say, man? You don't like it or what?
I'm just surprised, bro. I'm surprised. My man Jack, he's out here beating the drum for, buy Bitcoin and custody it. And then, now it's buy my stock and I'll custody it for you.
Yeah, he's providing a service.
Yeah, not a fan.
Oh, you're so bearish, man. Where's Bull Rob?
Bull Rob? Bull Rob's here.
Okay.
I ran into Jack Mallers at one of the conferences.
Oh, yeah? Remember when you chased down Max Kaiser at our first Bitcoin conference in 2022?
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. We were, those were the days. Maybe I'll pull that video up at some point this week. Okay, so the obvious thing here is buying Bitcoin. This is bullish.
It's very bullish. Yeah. Outside of my dynamics or thoughts on, who's profiting here and what service this provides. It's going to expand the narrative of, hey, institutions are coming in here and buying large swaths of Bitcoin. At some point, there's going to be a supply shock dynamic situation popping up, especially if the U.S. comes in and starts buying Bitcoin. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And I wouldn't be surprised if the U.S. is currently buying Bitcoin. And there's only so much to go around. I'm expecting some gigantic green candles out of Bitcoin. Now, I was talking yesterday on X Spaces, and in there, I mentioned, I was like, hey, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the week we get to 100K. And immediately caught some resistance, and with just cause, right? And they're like, hey, you know what? We just had a big move. We went from 80, you know, what was it? 88, 84. We're at 93 historical, you know, support / resistance at that range. Wouldn't be surprised to see it bounce back. 100%, bro. 100% valid. Like, and in all actuality, probably likely. But I know how fast Bitcoin moves from experience. And if you've been in this game long enough, you know that Bitcoin, when it takes off, brother, it moves. When we went from, was it 14,000 to like 40,000 back in the very, very kickoff early stages of 2020, 2021. I mean, my God, what a big move that was. I mean, it was damn near a 3x, right? It was just a giant move. And that was just 4 years ago. Not even. Probably 4 years ago now. And so it will happen again. Especially if nation states and big ass companies are dropping $3 billion.
The Secretary of Commerce's company.
Yeah, you know, you're dropping $3 billion, and then you got MicroStrategy just announced yesterday they bought $500 million.
Wasn't it more than that?
It was $553 million. So yeah,
okay.
technically it was
okay.
over $500 million. Yes, but
okay. So I'm sitting here, and I always like to put myself in the seat of the viewer. You watching? What are you thinking right now? My brain goes to, okay, David, this is bullish. Bitcoin's already at 94K. Are there any opportunities for me to make money with this news? Yes, there are. I'm here to tell
altcoins are on fire right now, brother.
Certain altcoins.
Fire.
You know, I was looking yesterday.
It's no day. We knew it was coming. Certain altcoins, right? We've been talking about it.
So, you know, yesterday I was on CoinMarketCap, and I refreshed the top 24 gainers, and I saw two projects I've never seen. One was Deep Book. The other one was Walrus. I'm like, what the fuck is this? They were both Sui ecosystem plays. And I'm looking at Sui, and if you want to pull up Sui, Rob.
Bro, up 41% on the week.
Yeah, take a peek.
Up.
Look at
20,
that.
like this thing. Look at the 1 week on this. My Lord have mercy. Just 2 days ago.
Was that almost a 2x?
2 days ago. We were at $2. We're at $3 now.
Okay, so 50%.
Roughly. Yeah. So roughly 50% if you were to go from low to high. But it's really not it's very impressive for something in the top 12. That's a massive market cap to move by 44% in a week, 22% on the day.
Sui, I think, send to Solana, man. Yeah.
Also, you got Avalanche sitting here. You know, this is up 18% on the week, up only 2% on the 24 hours. But, you know, outside of Solana and,
you know, since we're here,
as I say, outside of Solana and Sui, you know, Avalanche is performing quite well on the 1 week, outperforming Cardano, outperforming Doge, outperforming XRP, outperforming Ethereum. Ethereum also had a nice move today, man. It did, man. I mean, it's up. It's up 5. It's two. Like, it's. If you look at the 24 hours, and this is what I was talking about. It might be. This might be the breakout we're looking at for ETH versus BTC. This is on the 24 hours here. You can see on the top line, blue is ETH. So, you know, making more and more gains against Bitcoin. And you can see here the reversal on the weekly as well. The monthly, I mean, when you go out further than the 1 week, it's down. But I think that just basically explains to you, how much room it has to go to close the gap. And if this gap were to be closed, I mean, you're talking about,
it would be a huge move.
A $10,000 ETH if you were to close a gap on all-time highs.
So let me ask you, go back to the CoinMarketCap main page. Out of the top 25, which one are you most disappointed by outside of Ethereum? You look at Cardano, what is that, 70 cents, right? You look at a project like XLM.
I don't think you can
right
really...
Is there anyone you're kind of disappointed with the move? I mean...
Not really, man. I think it's shaping up exactly like I thought. I mean, maybe I would have expected stronger performance out of Chainlink. Now I'm not evaluating this on hey, what is not performing well. It's more like what is not performing to my expectations of where I thought it would be at this current market. Like for instance, Polkadot is number 20. It's falling out of the top 20.
Polkadot is,
but I was expecting this, so I'm not surprised. I'm not disappointed. It is what it is. It's moving exactly like I thought. Same with Litecoin, kind of dropping down the ranks. Perhaps maybe Doge. I thought maybe we would have seen more price action out of Doge. I know earlier in the year, late last year, I was expecting Doge to be closer to its previous all-time highs. Maybe not eclipsing it, but at least getting around that, was it 50 or 60 cents? What was the all-time high at?
For Doge? 70 cents.
63 cents here. Yeah. So we briefly got up to 45 cents. But at current market prices, I don't know. I'm just a little surprised that Doge wasn't. So my answer to you would be Doge and Chainlink, I think, are I thought they'd be a little higher at price with the current market conditions. Not disappointed. Chainlink is still number 11. It's still making partnerships. I think from the fundamental perspective, you can't at all be disappointed. I mean, they're making more progress than I think all other 25 top projects at the current moment, minus Bitcoin, my personal opinion. I mean, who's built more partnerships and more infrastructure than Chainlink over the last 12 months? It's hard to argue that one.
For me, I look at, I guess I'm like Cardano. It's underperforming to my expectations a little bit. That's not to say that I'm punting on the project, but that's one of them. The other one, I would agree. Chainlink is another one, but Chainlink's always been a slow mover, right? And for me, I always talk about my Chainlink spot, my Chainlink positions. They're always longer term, and so I don't pay attention to the day-to-day or even week-to-week price action, unless I'm getting hit with my DCA numbers. And then the other one is Stellar Lumens, 27 cents. I thought we get a bigger breakout, right? We had that massive weekly. They had that massive weekly falling wedge that broke out. We got the retest and it just never took off. It's kind of been chopping sideways. And so, but when this thing takes off, I think it's gonna be pretty huge. Now we got a little sidetracked, right? I want to get back to this Bitcoin thing. And so the question then becomes, okay, well, we got all this bullish news on Bitcoin. How can we make money from it? That's not just a 2x Bitcoin going from 94 to 190K, which there's nothing wrong with a 2x, but hey, let's face it, we're all degenerates here. So I look to something that a lot of people have been talking about. It's going to be a spotlight on it next month, which is Bitcoin DeFi, right? Bitcoin Finance, BTC Fi, whatever you want to call it. And so there's a few projects that I kind of want to highlight. The first one, the first two are kind of obvious. You have Stacks, right? Currently sitting at a valuation of 1.4 billion fully diluted, 77 cents. We know Stacks had a pretty big rally over the 7 days. It's up 35%. On the year, though, it's still down 74%. So it was sitting at $2.88 just a year ago. They went through their Nakamoto upgrade. They're front and center on this Bitcoin DeFi with smart contracts. And so that's one to keep your eye on the radar, right? If it just gets to its yearly high, what is that, Rob? Of 3x? Almost a 4x? Pretty damn good for a top 70 project. The other one is Cardano. Now, this one is a little less clear as far as what that's going to look like. We haven't had the demo yet, but we are expecting a demo from Charles in Vegas next month at the Bitcoin conference.
Yeah, I would just say right now it's a roadmap item that hasn't even we haven't even seen yet.
To me,
so
though,
I'm always very hesitant on that. I think that
to me, it's worth, if you are looking to speculate a little bit, Cardano would be, to me, worth it. Because if it falls by the wayside, then it's not a project that one thing hinges the entire.
Here's the thing. Even when they get their DeFi going, I mean, you got to have stablecoin. Like a DeFi is stablecoin.
They need
right?
to have a
Yeah. So I mean, like, is it going to be a thing where like, hey, the tech is here, it's built, it's ready to go, but how can you incentivize people to use it, right? I mean, I think that's kind of the situation they're in now, or at least the situation they have been, is that the tech is there, the tech is fine, it runs fast, it's proven, it's scalable, it's just doesn't have the market share that other projects have. And right now, there's not much Bitcoin DeFi going on anyways. So how are you going to take market share for something that doesn't have much market to it, right? How much BTC DeFi transactions have you even talked about?
Well, yeah, because the infrastructure is not really there yet, right? Everyone, well, it's kind of there, but
that's what I'm saying is that it's, I look at it this way. Do you remember when last cycle, the cycle before, this current cycle, everyone always talks about, hey, we're going to be able to transact with Bitcoin. You're going to be able to buy some coffee with Bitcoin. This merchant's accepting Bitcoin. You can send people Bitcoin. You can tip in Bitcoin. How often does that actually get used?
Ain't nobody spending their Bitcoin on.
Exactly, man. And so,
but people might leverage. People might leverage their Bitcoin.
You're bullish on Bitcoin DeFi. I believe next cycle, Bitcoin DeFi will be a thing. This cycle, what are you going to do with Bitcoin DeFi?
What do you mean?
Like, give me.
There's a lot of idle. There's a lot of idle capital sitting in Bitcoin. Bitcoin does nothing; just sits there. And so people find ways.
So you can leverage your Bitcoin and borrow off of it. I think that makes the most sense.
That's part of Bitcoin DeFi.
Yeah, but you can already do that through custodial agents, right?
But what if you can do it?
And you can also do it with cross bridges. Yeah, but then you got to trust the network, right? Then at that point,
they're building.
But here's the thing: like, you either trust the network or an institution. It's one or the other.
I'd rather trust the code, a good code.
I would rather trust an institution than brand new code.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. A trusted.
That's what I'm saying. Like next cycle, because this cycle ain't nobody gonna park $500 million.
They'll park $1 billion
into a brand new DeFi protocol built on Bitcoin that nobody knows.
They'll park $1 million.
Sure,
if it's secured.
I'm not saying it's not going to exist,
Rob.
I'm just not saying it's not going to be.
If it involves the native chain and it's not some bridge, and that's why I think Cardano has a lead, because the Bitcoin and Cardano.
It's not going to be the native chain. It's going to be interconnected. Like, so you can't stake your Bitcoin on the Bitcoin network.
Correct.
You can't borrow your Bitcoin on the Bitcoin network. Now you can have some kind of 3-factor authentication where, the seed phrase is over here or whatever it is. And then if you get margin call, they'll take it. But at the end of the day, it's not built on Bitcoin. So it has to be built with someone else. So you got to trust it. Now, how much trust you have in there, you're going to use ZK rollups and all these other different, zero knowledge proofs and these different things to basically secure the network. You still got to have the trust. Still has to have no exploits. And I don't care how much someone preaches. Well, there's no risk here. It's all done on Bitcoin's layer.
There's always risk.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
Risk.
And that's what I mean.
But you can minimize the risk
with
and then
time.
make it more
with time.
Make it more EV positive, right?
Yeah, you can sit here and explain how much you've done to minimize the risk. But at the end of the day, people aren't going to trust millions, potentially billions of dollars on something that isn't time tested, at least. And that's why I think that next bull market cycle is perhaps something to keep an eye on for Bitcoin DeFi. It's not even built yet. It's not even here. The product doesn't even exist, and we're about a third of the way through the bull market.
There's some products like
and you're talking about Cardano's gonna unveil the next Bitcoin DeFi at Bitcoin Las Vegas next month. We've never even seen it.
Robin,
then the rollout. By the time this thing even becomes available, we're talking 2026. By the time anybody even onboards and starts using it, and the stable coins are there, you're talking 2027.
Robin, what moves our markets? Mainly
retail,
speculation, right?
Yeah.
So if we start coming out and Charles Hoskinson does this badass, Bitcoin DeFi, we're doing this thing, and everyone's like, oh my God, this is going to be crazy. People are going to speculate on it. Stacks comes out and said, we can do this, this, and this.
It's only going to be short-lived, though, man. If
but
people aren't using it,
that's the conversation.
Yeah, I'm not saying you can't make money.
That's the conversation we're having.
But what I'm saying is that it ain't a factor, bro. It's not a factor this bull market.
It'll be a factor
for maybe a headline news one day pump. I mean, we saw Donald Trump said the U.S. is going to buy Cardano. It spiked for 2 days and then retraced. I mean, I don't know what else it can explain.
We were in a bear market.
That nothing has.
We were in a bear
power,
market,
bro. And so, if you think that speculation off of Cardano's going to nail a home run on Bitcoin DeFi, sure, it'll pump for a day, maybe two, maybe it doesn't even pump at all. But what is not going to happen is they announce Bitcoin DeFi and the price triples and everyone's euphoric and be like, guys, this is going to change the world. Like, you have no idea. No, headline
crypto.
That's it.
You've been in crypto a long time. I can't believe you just said that. Anyways, I would like to also go back to my point. If you're on my side and you think it's worth speculation, to some degree, I agree with Robin. I don't think Bitcoin DeFi is here. The infrastructure starts rolling out that people are going to blindly put in billions of dollars. I agree with that. But you're still going to see a speculative pump, and you're still going to see some money flow in to some of these protocols. You look at projects like ICP, you look at projects like Cardano, right? Natively connecting to Bitcoin, no bridges, right? You look at Cardano and Bitcoin, they both run extended UTXO, which is a benefit, which I think gives Cardano an edge. So those are my first two, Stacks, Cardano. My third one, super risky, right? But it's Badger DAO. Looking to do the same thing, right? DeFi infrastructure on BTC. This is more of a very, very higher risk, as this is one of the uglier charts in crypto. But again, crypto is speculation. And although the pumps might not last for 3 months, you can still make money on a pump. And if conditions are right in the market, we can see that pump run longer than a day or 2 days. With that being said, I want to give Actually, I don't want to give a yet. I want to wait to give that a. Look at this. I think this was the second largest inflow day ever for BTC ETFs. $912 million flowed in to the Bitcoin ETF yesterday. BlackRock, 200 mil. Fidelity, 250 million. Is this ARK? ARK was number one yesterday with $267 million flowing in to their ETF product. So everyone, even Grayscale's 2.5% or 1.5% product, got 65 million of inflows. Again, almost hitting that $1 billion mark. So massive day for Wall Street yesterday as they proved that they are still bullish on BTC. And then you have this, Bitcoin officially surpasses Google to become the 5th largest asset in the world by market cap, only trailing NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, and gold. NVIDIA. And I think there's one more. I think it's Tesla. I could be wrong. Anyways, so number 5. So that's a pretty big deal. Some, any comments on these two before I move on?
Mm-mm.
And then we have this as well. Markets are kind of all over the place, right? China tariffs likely coming down to between 50 and 65%. Xi Jinping and Trump have a meeting in May to obviously discuss the tariffs. And then there was a headline saying that the negotiations and an actual resolvement to the trade war between U.S. and China could take 2 to 3 years. So the markets are all over the place. We saw the stock market. It got to as high, I believe, as almost 1,000 points on the Dow Jones. but it's still up, still in the green, 1.4%. S&P's up 2%, and the NASDAQ, another strong day, up 3%. You know, I actually want to, since I brought that up, I want to check the NASDAQ chart. And let's see how NASDAQ has been performing relative to its 200-day moving. Oh, we're still pretty far. Yes. 18,222 until we get to that lower band of our 200-day moving average. And so that is one thing to keep an eye on. And then for Bitcoin, I believe it did create. So Bitcoin just absolutely crushed its 200-day moving average. I mean, this was a perfect setup as it was coming into this inverse head and shoulders. And that neckline was your third MA band on the 200-day moving average. So that was pretty massive. And you saw the follow through on the breakout with increasing volume. And so Bitcoin's looking good. We're printing a little bit of a spinning top here. So a little bit of a cool off. Are we going to get a pullback potentially? Or, as Rob mentioned, when Bitcoin moves and moves, you can very well see this becomes a cool off, and then we skyrocket to that 100K level. I don't know if that's going to happen by the end of the week or by the end of the month, which would be next week. But I do think we close out April over 100K. That's kind of my sentiment. What about you? You think we close April over 100K?
1 week.
So the end of it.
I think it's less likely. If I had to put a percentage on it, I suppose I think 30% chance we close above 100K.
How many percent?
30% chance.
Huh.
It is still a big move, but basically, it wouldn't surprise.
It's a $6,000 move, my friend.
I mean, you asked my opinion.
No, I'm just saying. I'm. You're saying it's a pretty big move. I'm saying
a pretty big move.
6,000.
No, I mean, you have to add on to the candle that we already have. I mean, so where did the breakout start? What was that price right there?
85.
Yeah. So I mean, from 85 to 100K within essentially 10 days. You know, that's a big move, and you know you have to continue on from where we're at, and you know, will it consolidate? I think it's more likely, but I do hold about 30% faith there.
I feel more confident. I'm at 60%.
You're at 60%?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about chat? I want to know what the chat thinks. Do you think Bitcoin will be at over $100,000 by the end of the candle closing on April 30th? Put a 1 for yes, put a 2 for no. Curious to see what the chat thinks. Also, if you're new here, say hello. Make sure to like the video. Got 350 people in here, 100 likes. Not bad, but not good either. We could do a lot better. We also had this as well. This is posted by CoinGlass. The biggest short liquidation so far this year, $619 million worth of shorts got squeezed, destroyed, ransacked, annihilated, whatever you want to call it. And so, again, as not only Bitcoin, but a lot of the altcoins started to rally. Speaking of altcoins, Rob, I know we kind of took a small peek at the market cap. Can we take a larger peek at CoinMarket? Thank you very much.
All right. So going down the list, you know, a lot of AI heavy gains this week. And so if you go down the list on biggest gainers, you do got, let's see here, on the week, excuse me. So you go down on the week, you see BitTensor here, number 2, up 50%. Man, what a strong move. Are we going to talk about the reason?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get into that in a second.
You know, I just want to. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh.
Usually you just jump the gun, but thank you for double checking.
Yeah. So BitTensor, also you have artificial superintelligence or ASI.
Rob, you
got near protocol.
Are you still real quick, Rob? Are you still bullish on ASI? I mean, it's the concept is cool. Do you think
I am?
Do you think it underperformed just because the whole AI sector underperformed, or do you think it was more of a Elron?
I think it's
Multiverse X rebranding.
I think the rebrand just.
You think the rebrand crushed them?
Ball, bro. Like,
I think Fetch, because before this whole AI agent narrative, Fetch AI, that's what they were known for, is agents. They were like the first. And when the agents ran, It was no longer Fetch. It was, we're the Super Intelligence Agency Committee.
The name is just terrible, dude.
You don't
It's terrible.
I heard Netflix is.
I mean, look at this. I mean, you have Monero, Uniswap, Aptos, OKB, BitTensor, Ondo, AVE, Caspa, and then you get down here, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. Like what? Like, stop it.
Must be some Italians.
Has to be what?
Italians.
No, I mean, imagine,
Has to be Italian.
Yeah, the name is too long. It's like, you want to describe something.
Is that a thing in Italy, Rocco? Long names?
Yeah.
Your name's short, Rocco.
Yeah, man.
Unless your government name is a lot longer.
But if you want to
it
describe
would be like
something,
car shopping, and you're like Ford, Chevy, Hyundai, and then you
Supercar
got,
intelligence.
then you got powertrain, super heavy duty max lift diesel truck. And you're just like,
That sounds cool.
you're like,
Sounds cool. Look at this guy.
Is that the model? But like, no, that's
the name.
super heavy max lift diesel truck.
It's actually a new meme point.
And then you're like, well,
There are three more trims that you can use.
yeah, you're like powertrain max heavy super truck. Also, just released their new truck, the super heavy duty 5.5. You get what I'm saying? Like it just
large.
like
I don't get what you're saying.
what I'm saying is like imagine having a token launched on ASI and trying to explain like, well, that's a side chain of Artificial Superintelligence Alliance called. You get what I'm saying? It's just too much.
The superficial,
man. Just
intelligence.
cut it out. Even MicroStrategy went just a strategy. Like, come on, man. Like, trim it up, man. It's not too late.
That's why
Facebook went to Meta. Like, consolidate the damn name, bro. It sounds asinine, but if you're looking for retail investment, which AI is very dependent on it, keep it clean and simple. Ain't nobody going to go to work talking about what cryptos are investing in. Be like, yeah, man, I got some Cardano. Like, oh, yeah. I also bought some Artificial Superintelligence Alliance Supercomputer 556,000. Like, what? Everybody's going to lose their mind. Like, what are you talking about? And then you're the weirdo at work. I'm already the weirdo at work.
Hey, listen, is that the address of the artificial superintelligence? No, that's the name. It's not the address of the token.
You better be careful because we might bring them on as a sponsor, and that invoice is going to look real interesting, huh?
Yeah. 3 pages.
Sir, who is this Super Alliance? Okay. Anyways, I just wanted to stop you there, but you can continue. I think you were kind of going down the list.
So
you mentioned Near Protocol.
AI heavy here on weekly gains, which is I think interesting. I don't know if we're going to continue this. What's your
You're talking
vibe?
about the Trump token or AI? Sorry.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, AI. Guys, what has David on this damn show been talking about for the last?
But will it outperform other markets? Basically, are we going to see that giant?
Give me examples. Will it outperform?
Will AI lead crypto the way it did twice already, or is it going to just kind of have some nice little?
It'll be top 3. I don't know if it'll be number 1 or it'll be top 3. I think stablecoins will be number 1. Institutional yield, stablecoin infrastructure. Yeah, I really do.
You think
curved out
stablecoins isn't going to be number 1?
That's my opinion.
They'll increase in value.
AI and RWA, those are my top 3. Those are my top 3. So shout out to Nathan Highmaster as he is high on this channel. I don't know where I'm going with this. We had 2 super chats. One from Crit Cats. All I want to know is with Bitcoin DeFi, are we going to get tired of winning? I'm already tired of winning. There's not really much more tired I can get. So big thank you to you, Crit Cats. And then Nathan, $20. Sin City Crypto has great production and consistency. Hard to find this type of quality in crypto space. Thanks for doing what you do. Thank you for your support and watching our channel. We appreciate it. We pride ourselves on having fun and giving you guys the production quality you're probably used to seeing on large network TVs. That was the whole idea, is give people great content, have fun, and also the production quality that you're used to when you turn your TV on. With that being said, I do want to give a big thank you to today's channel sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by Steak. Steak.us, not the steak that Robin cooks at home, which also very delicious. But Steak.us, there's a new game on there. I know we talked about this, rock, paper, scissors. And I think I'm going to have to go challenge Robin on it. But with Stake.us, if you create an account using our link, all you'll have to do to earn pretty much a free tank of gas every single month is just log in, claim your free dollar stake cash every day, and you got $30 saying that's $360 a year for literally doing nothing. And so use our link, create the account, have some fun in the social casino. Big thank you to Stake for sponsoring today's show. So I gave my 3 top narratives. What are your 3 top narratives, Robin, that you are expecting to make money on and you are expecting to really lead the crypto rally? I know you're big on gaming.
Yeah. Gaming's
Okay.
That's still at the top of the list. We have not seen
Top of the list?
Top of the list.
Why?
Number 1.
Because we haven't seen a pump yet?
We haven't seen a pump at all. Everything else is already ran. And over here in the back seat on the bench, they're on the bench. I'm telling you, it's like the World Cup when they had Ronaldo sitting on the bench and they brought him in late.
That was so bad. What were they doing?
Yeah, put him out there. Put him out there. So, I just confused why there's been no gaming route.
Why do you think that is? I mean, Off the Grid was a hit, right?
Because of retail. Retail's not here.
Institution
isn't playing video games.
But can I argue, Robin? Okay, so there was a something I saw on X. Off the Grid, there was a $14,000 transaction in gun token for one of the skins, or it was some kind of epic whatever on Off the Grid. Now it was a hypothetical 14K because a gun token, the marketplace isn't live yet, so they can't do those transactions.
No, the marketplace is live.
It is?
Yeah.
So then, so I read somewhere it was theoretical, but the number of importance here is 14,000.
Maybe the marketplace isn't live, but the gun
token is live. Yes.
And gun chain is live.
Okay.
Maybe they haven't launched the marketplace. I haven't looked at that.
So we always talk about retail being broke, right? If there's a way for these people to play a game, a blockchain-based game like Off the Grid, and you play this game to find these what are they called? The orbs? Okay. The orbs that could contain a freaking year's worth of rent.
Yeah, they basically just have NFT drops that you could turn around and sell for thousands of dollars.
I mean,
and you have to battle your way out with it. So they just drop a NFT, like an NFT canister or whatever it is. Anyways, there's a little loot box. They drop it in the map somewhere. It has different tier loot style, so you can have rare and extra rare or legendary, whatever it is. And you extract that thing, you pop out whatever's inside. The extra rare ones are going to give you some like epic loot, which is generally worth upwards of thousands of dollars. And so, yeah, I mean, just simply playing that is going to reward the players. And so if you're a kid and you got allowance, $20, all of a sudden you make 3 Gs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Believe, like,
but Rob, look at, and I'm not trying to be funny here, but what region of the world, what countries were like just crushing it on Axie Infinity? Philippines, right? Where like even $1, like if you're watching from the Philippines or you're watching from a country where the dollar holds a lot of value, okay? And I'm just going to use a stake example that I just used. $30 a month for logging in sometimes, and this sounds very sad, is what people make in like 2 weeks from a dollar perspective, right? In their native countries. And so I always talk about retail being broke. Could more games like Off the Grid, where you can do what Rob said, you can find these orbs.
You don't need to go even. You don't even need to hypothesize here. You just look at CS:GO. CS:GO with all their casinos and out there, and they don't even sell in a secondary market, right? And so CS:GO basically just lets you buy packs, and packs you open them up, and then you get skins and basically skins and guns and things like that of that nature. Nothing that helps you play the game any better, which is funny because people will spend tens of thousands of dollars on this stuff. But regardless, you can get assets in a game.
Are you people, Robin?
And CS:GO is billions of dollars of money there. And people are going and playing the game and then in turn getting their loot and then selling it on a secondary market or putting it up in a casino, cashing it out in a casino, playing it there. And there is billions and billions of dollars. They have whole esports teams just for CS:GO. This is Counter-Strike, by the way. And And it's just it's like one of the it's probably the largest. I'm not sure if it's the largest. If it's not, it's probably the second or third, but I'm assuming it's the largest revenue ecosystem for a game. And let me tell you, CSGO is not the best. It's not the most modern game. Put it that way.
I've never played it.
People are playing it because of money, basically. People are playing because they will get casino sponsors to sponsor their team. The casino sponsors will put up millions and millions of dollars for the team to play, fly them out, whatever it is, get them coaches. And this is all off the back of the assets that are trading in casinos. And so it's going to cross over to crypto. And it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And I think it's here now and already here. It just hasn't taken off yet. And I just think that the gun token, Avalanche, something to keep an eye on. I mean, here's, I got mine. If you want to pull my laptop up, Rocco, I got the gun token here. This one, it went live at the end of last month, so it hasn't even been out for a month. It had that typical sell-off you would see in a brand new chain that launched. So I went from 7 cents down to 4 cents, currently at 5.5 cents. And so holding up pretty strong. I mean,
sitting only at 40 million market cap.
Dude,
You think it's worth a shot?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
100%. Now I wouldn't put any like large slice of the pie in it, but if you believe in gaming, this is something I would have my own. We can come back. Clip this thing. I'm telling you. What is it? 4/23/2005. Did you not buy gun token? Not financial advice.
Speaking of guns, pew pew. Money coming from Poman. He had two $20 super chats. One was, is this thing working? Yes. If it doesn't hit the account, we'll let you know. Also, another one said passport. I also need a passport, so thank you very much.
Ashley will be in the studio tomorrow.
Oh, we're rolling out something new tomorrow.
You can ask Ashley yourself, or we'll ask Ashley. Did she get a passport?
She did not get a passport. Why do you believe she's going to get a passport?
Oh, we are $20 away from opening up the club. It's been a while. Yeah.
It's been a very long time.
Yeah, it has been.
I knew I had, you have this interesting shirt. I feel like that's what like wealthy people wear when they go on a yacht and they just get too old to buy other shit. They're like, let me buy some floral pink and purple one. It's nice. I'm not bagging on it. And then I came in, I don't know what this is, some weird green. But anyways, I was taking a peek. Bitcoin is currently at above 94K. SWI is ripping. But another one that ripped was none other than the Trump coin. Top Trump coin holders revealed. Why is the coin pumping? Here is why it's pumping. President Trump to host a meme coin dinner. This guy is a genius marketer, bro. Dude is a genius marketer. So some of the top holders of Trump's meme coin could come out of the shadows to appear for a dinner at the president is planning to host on May 22nd. As of April 23rd, the official Trump meme coin website offered the opportunity for the top 220 holders to meet the president in person in Washington, D.C., which sent the degenerates to the charts to buy the Trump token. And this is the largest single weekly candle we've seen since this thing launched. You look at the 4-hour, massive spike in volume. This thing got to as high as $16. Very interesting. Also, it looks like we hit our limit of opening the club. Poman, with the 20% help from Lowmaster, has officially opened the club. Robin, do the honors.
A few things that Vegas does better than anyone else. One is, degenerate gambling and way too many slot machines that you can find, especially in gas stations and grocery stores. But anyways, we do that very well. We also are entertainment focused. We got the best nightclubs in the world, and, we like to throw a damn good party. So without further ado, Rocco, let's open up the club. Let's go. favorite dance?
You know exactly
which one?
You know exactly.
The girl in the Uniswap?
Oh, Polygon.
The Polygon one?
Very funny how you put the Polygon logo on that specific dance. Guys, we want to thank you so much. We did get another $50 super chat from Jimmy. Jimmy, Marcus are green. Our YouTube check's going to be green with all the super chats. We appreciate all of you and all the support. To those of you that popped in and wondered, what the hell am I tuning into? You come here for the entertainment and the info, baby. Speaking of info, let's get back to the info. Rob, Trump, meme coin dinner.
Are you going? Are you in the
I
top
am not
two?
a top two.
You're not in the top
I am
20?
a zero holder. I hold 0 Trump token.
I got the Melania one.
Rocco, do you hold any official Trump token?
No, I got the Melania one.
You got Melania?
Waiting for the dinner with Melania.
It's not going to be dinner. It's going to be something better.
Yeah, sure. Winky wink.
You know that? Anyways, okay, we're not going to go down that road. So yeah, I mean that's why the price is pumping. I would just be wary, guys. They just had a big unlock, which also started. I think it's daily or weekly unlocks of that token. So just be careful. Unless you really want to go meet the guy and you want to become a top 220 holder.
But is it snapshotted? I don't think you can buy your way in at this point, right? Yeah, I already saw that. I saw what it looked like. It said.
I mean, I didn't see it.
I don't have it pulled up, but
maybe there's details in here. Go ahead.
It said there was this invitation, and it said you're a top 220 holder, RSVP now, and it had like a little link. Maybe it was like fabricated. Maybe it wasn't real. But yeah.
So at the time of publication, the guest list for the event was unclear, but the project stated any token holder who applied had to pass a background check. They got a KYC. They ain't going. Meme coin before taking office, criticizing the crypto industry. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything as far as a snapshot.
Yeah, this is what I saw here. Rock, if you want to pull it up. So it says register for Trump dinner. Have dinner. Here's the most exclusive invitation in the world. Only top 220 holders. You connect wallet, register for your dinner. So
okay, so I guess once you register, okay.
Yeah, I saw this a few times. Now maybe this isn't valid. I haven't back.
Yeah, just be careful. Make sure that's
but
not
there's
sort of phishing.
I mean, there's a lot. No, I mean there's a lot of these. I saw this like multiple times. So unless it's just been circulated by person after person, it seems legit. It's not just one random account posted it.
Okay.
So
interesting. I would figure they would say the snapshot's going to be in 2 weeks. Right, give people FOMO to go buy the token versus announcing and saying the snapshot already happened, then people aren't really going to want to go buy it. But anyways, interesting timing, Trump. Good job. And then I did mention some big news for IMX. RIP DMX. IMX surges 10% as immutable partners with Ubisoft for a new.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm just curious. What kind of food do you think they're going to serve over there at the White House?
Beef bourguignon.
Rago, what do you think?
McDonald's for sure. What is that? McDonald's?
Yeah, they got
dude loves McDonald's.
You got some Wendy's here. This was during the COVID era. He brought in fast food for everybody.
You know what's crazy? You can hate Trump all you want, but like the year leading up to his inauguration and when he was campaigning, at his age, the amount of time that guy for like 16 to 18 months straight, nonstop, it's insane, bro. And all off on the fuel of McDonald's and the 20-piece nugget with maybe a McFlurry with some Oreos in there. Anyways, from food to no idea where that was going, but IMX and Ubisoft are partnering for a new mobile game. Now, if you're not familiar, Ubisoft is behind such titles such as Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, Far Cry, and more. The pair is releasing a new mobile game based on the Might and Magic series as part of Ubisoft's broader Web3 strategy, and IMX did rally one day, sitting at 7% in the green. 7 day, though, up 46.8% on IMX. They're essentially an L2 on ETH for NFTs. This kind of fits in the gaming NFT narrative, Rob. Any quick thoughts on IMX here? And do you think this is super bullish, or is this another one of the Rob's? It's not a really big deal.
No, I mean, it falls into my gaming category. You asked me what were my 3 favorite verticals.
You only gave one.
Yeah, exactly. That's because all 3 land on gaming. I am that bullish on it. And so, household name like Ubisoft, it is about as big as it gets, right?
Well, Rockstar Gaming is pretty big.
No, Rockstar comes out with one game every like 7 years.
Activision's pretty big.
Either way.
Top 3.
I
sound like I know gaming. Really
top 3 gaming franchise, you could argue. I think they kind of shuffle in at who's got the most dominant game at the current time. And at certain times, Ubisoft will be at the top of the list. But yeah, man, I mean, mobile gaming, I think that's probably an untapped region in gaming. I think that you're going to have that like battle royale style, more that like AAA version gaming, something like the gun game that we talked about off the grid. And then also you're going to have gaming, more casual play on the phone. We've seen historically with games like Candy Crush and what's that? Plants Ate My Neighbor, Zombie, whatever it was.
You're the one who plays it, not me.
Man, I've lost a lot of time. A lot of time playing those damn games.
Yeah, I remember the fun airplane rides. Anyways, guys, if you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you are subscribed, have a notification bell on, and follow us on X at Sin City Crypto 1. That'll do it for the show today. Big thank you to all of you watching. And also, big thank you to all the super chats. We appreciate all your support. With that being said, Rocco. Perfect. Thank you all so much. Again, we appreciate every single one of you. Come back right here tomorrow morning for another show. We love you. Until then, peace. Plants and zombies.
Sin City Crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Named according to your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies.